Hey guys, Uriel came here with another episode of Ask Yuri, and today we're changing things up a little bit. I'm on a mission. This video is dedicated to one of my Fitter You Fitness members. His name is Phil, and he was asking me, how long does it take to make a green juice? I'd really like to see you make one, so that it kind of inspires me to do the same. And that's what I'm going to do today. So my goal is to fill up this container, which is about 500 milliliters, half a liter, with green juice in less than 10 minutes. Alright, so that's my challenge today. I've got my ingredients all set to go. Before I started this video, it took me about maybe 5 minutes to wash and cut some of this stuff, maybe not even that. Basically what I've got going today on the menu for this green juice, we've got kale, Swiss chard, celery, apple, 2 carrots, and 1/4 of a cucumber. Now I'm a little bit disappointed because I don't have my favorite ingredient, which is parsley, which adds a really nice kick to the green juice. But we'll see how this one works out anyways, and again, it's just about experimenting with new things and seeing what you like. So let's get started. I've got my juicer here. I'm gonna get it fired up. Let's set the timer, start your stopwatch. I'm gonna give myself 10 minutes, not even starting now. So I'm gonna start off with the leafy greens. Get the kale in first. Sometimes, I'm not too crazy about this juicer because it requires me to do a little bit too much work. But, we'll do what we gotta do. So, another question that a lot of you have been wondering is how much protein do you actually get from a green juice? I'm gonna tell you in just a second. So you'll notice that I have to put a little bit of effort into this. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of my juicer, but there are better juices on the market, even though this is one of the most expensive ones. I wouldn't recommend it. Anyways, so how much protein? Alright, so in the kale, you're looking at about 3 grams of protein per 1 cup of kale, which is a pretty good source of protein. In the Swiss chard, which I'm going to get to in a second, you're looking at about 4 grams of protein per 1 cup of Swiss chard. So what that means is that within this juice itself, we're looking at about almost 20 grams of protein, which is pretty awesome, considering that this is a juice, a green juice, and not some kind of muscle-building shake, as it were. And that's what I want you guys to realize, is that you don't have to be eating meat. You don't have to be eating animal products to get your protein. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You can do it in moderation, but greens are the key to life and vitality. If you look at the biggest, strongest animals in the world, and I keep alluding to this, all they eat are leaves. Right? Because leaves have everything you need, greens, right? Alkalinity, protein, minerals, vitamins, phytonutrients, all that good stuff. So, we're 2 minutes in so far. Usually the green leafies take a bit more time because you have to do a little bit more work getting them through. And we're just about done the kale. Boom. Alright, kale's done. Now we're going to move to the Swiss chard. Now sometimes, depending on the juice, you're going to see this kind of foaming up a little bit. So before I get to the Swiss chard, I'm actually going to put in something a little bit more watery. So I'm going to throw some cucumber in to kind of flush some of the fiber that might be stuck in the juicer through. Throw that in. And at the same time, I'll also throw in a piece of celery, because celery is an awesome juice cleanser. It just kind of runs everything right through. Alright, so now I'm going to put my Swiss chard in. The Swiss chard is a little bit easier to get through. It's less, less stocky and stiff like the kale. So good for you. And again, you can use anything here. You can use, again, Swiss chard, kale, mustard greens, dandelion greens, spinach, beet greens, any kind of leafy green that you want. You know, just have fun with it. Experiment which type of greens you like best. Go with those. I like Swiss chard. It almost has like a bit of a sweet flavor to it. And obviously very high in nutrition, right? So far we've almost filled up half this container. A little bit is foam, which we're going to kind of scoop off afterwards. But as you can see, there's a lot of good stuff coming out of just the leafy greens. And we are now 4 minutes in. This is like interval training for juicing. I'm going to pick up the pace here a little bit. Alright, let's get one more stock. This one's not too good, so I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to sift through some more celery. Sometimes this can get a little messy, but you know, that's part of the fun. Cleaning up afterwards might take 5 minutes. So, you know, you're looking at a total time of about, you know, about 20 minutes to make a good juice. And a good juice might, I mean about 500 to 700 milliliters, which is a good, you know, a good amount for 2 or 3 people. Now the key to a good tasting green juice is lemon, citrus. Anytime you're eating greens, it's very bitter. So one of the ways to overcome that is to throw in some citrus to kind of cut some of that. And it really brings out the flavor a lot more. So it's something I really recommend doing. So I put in just 1/4 of a lemon into this juice. Now I'm on to the celery. Alright, so one thing I will do right now is I'm going to stop this. Alright, so I'm going to stop this for a second. So you notice how much foam I've got going on here, right? It's like a huge cappuccino. I'm going to disregard a lot of this foam because, you know, we don't need it. So I'm just going to disregard that. And I'm back. So there we go. Clean it up a little bit. Make some more room for the juice coming in. Get this fired up again. Oops. There we go. Get some celery. Again, so I'm using like a whole stalk of celery here, a whole thing. And that's another key, is if you're not too crazy about the bitters and the dark greens, get the celery in. It's really going to help to kind of tone it down. Celery is also a really good source of natural sodium. So if you're exercising out in the heat, you're losing a lot of sweat, great thing to add to your juices. And I recommend adding them to really any green juice. Okay, so I'm going to leave some celery for the end. I'm going to throw my apple in next, so 1 apple. And again, I prefer all of these ingredients to be organic, right? As you should as well. Because you don't want to be juicing or eating pesticides, chemicals, none of that stuff. If you don't have organic, at least you know you're getting your fruits and vegetables, but organic is best. Alright, so I'm almost at 500 milliliters here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to juice anymore. We'll see what we can do. And I'm at 8 minutes. Sometimes you gotta work this stuff through. And I'm gonna throw in some carrots. Got 2 little carrots here. Carrots are a great source of vitamin A, retinol, good for the eyes and skin as well. I'm going to stop it there, I think, because I've passed about 550 mils, and this thing is going to start to overflow pretty much. Just let it kind of get those last couple of drops in, and we're good. Alright, bada bing, Bada boom. All right, so there we go. I'm officially stopping the clock right now. 9 minutes. I hope you stop your stopwatch as well. It took me 9 minutes to get all that juice done. Here's the final product. Now, what I normally do is, I'm not like, sometimes the quality of the juicer, I don't know why, we get little chunks and stuff going into the juice. So I end up straining this into a glass. Sometimes I'll just drink it straight without straining it, but today I'm going to strain it because I want to. So there you go. So really it took me 9 minutes to prepare this juice, less than 5 minutes to do the prep, and it's going to take me about 5 minutes or less to clean up. So total time is about 20 minutes to make a great juice that will last you. This is going to give me about 2.5 servings. And this will sustain me pretty much till early afternoon. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning right now. So, Phil, if you're watching this, I hope this has helped you out. And again, just play with the ingredients, find the ones that are going to work for you, and that's pretty much what it's all about. So, thanks again for watching this episode of Ask Yuri. Thanks for the question, and I'll see you in the next episode. And before I go, if you do want more of these type of juicy recipes and the videos and all this stuff, be sure to get a copy of my book, Eating for Energy. 120 raw food recipes, 40 juices and smoothies that you're absolutely going to love. Check it out. The website's eatingforenergy.ca. Go there now and start living your healthiest life ever. Now, I'll see you in the next episode.